Previously, Gneiss and the crew had a chat with Auntie Ethel, who is most definitely and totally not a witch, witnessed unspeakable war crimes against goblin kind, and swore an oath to healer Nettie to drink wyvern poison should they feel a touch of the tentacles coming on. Nettie revealed that her master, Halsin, a druid healer of considerable knowledge, may be able to evict the illithid parasite from the party's collective gray matter, but that he had recently gone missing. With a fresh lead, the party departs the Emerald Grove, searching for the missing Halsin, but instead finds an old ruin being picked over by some nefarious characters.
Pity you aren't as good at grave robbing as you are at excuses. Just being careful. Like my fools rush easy.
Fools rush in, says the brigand as Astarion launches an arrow from the shadowy backside of a large ruined statue. Large shadowy backsides. Sounds right up Astarion's alley. Having taken the brigands by surprise, Astarion fires another arrow at the brigand, dealing significant damage.
Excellent.
A third shot puts the brigand down for good. The brigand's friend Gimblebach dashes forward in an attempt to exact revenge, but comes up short. Classic Gneiss-style move. Oh man, now they're all standing in acid, but I guess on the bright side, at least they aren't having another dreadful conversation with Shadowheart. Astarion's alacrity is unmatched as he fires yet another arrow and removes himself from the pool of acid. Shadowheart, fueled by an intense dislike of, well, pretty much everything, tries to prove she is actually useful and fails. She throws Gale a few consolation HP before he melts away in the acid, though. Gimblebach's stubby legs finally carry him into melee where he deals Shadowheart a swift blow. Gale bolts from the pool of acid and bolts again, casting Witch Bolt on the brigand assaulting Shadowheart. Combat MVP Astarion dodges a pot shot from the far-off archer. The mage fortifies herself with arcane armor. And Astarion makes sure that dude has balked his last gimbal, whatever that means. Finally, Shadowheart does something useful and eliminates the mage. Gale wakens Gneiss, who up until this moment had been enjoying a beautiful dream. A dream in which he was able to reach melee with combatants in one round, which is how he knew it was a dream. The archer leaps and stabs at Gneiss, landing a glancing blow. Astarion rushes forth, firing off yet another arrow that finds its mark. Shadowheart continues to be as useful as ever and gets stuck in brambles. Seeing no other viable choices, she staunches her own wounds with magic. The combat ends as Gneiss shows the archer the business side of his fists. No, not like that. No. Bad viewer. Bad. Shadowheart eventually escapes the twisting vines, and the party quickly loots the deceased combatants. Shortly thereafter, Gneiss and the crew discover a buried chest containing a few magical scrolls. With his keen mind, Astarion realizes there may be a faster way into the ruins than through the front door. The party drops down into the ruins, landing in the temple's refectory, but unfortunately drawing the attention of a second party of ruined scavengers. A combat breaks out.
No time.
Gneiss hurries to stem the tide of scavengers from flowing into the room, landing a few blows on the archer shadowing the doorway. Astarion spies an opportunity and moves into position to take advantage of it. One of the combatants tosses alchemical fire at Gneiss, but ultimately knocks him away from the fire. Gale then casts the firebolt to end all firebolts. I haven't seen this much fire since Dresden, February of 45. Shadowheart casts a firebolt, this time on the forwardmost combatant, hurting him considerably. An archer from the rear rank fires a shot at Gale, dealing moderate damage. The barbarian rages and hurls a javelin at Shadowheart with incredible strength, inflicting a heavy wound. The enemy mage attempts to throw a firebolt at Gale, but he deftly avoids the magical projectile. Gneiss catapults a void bulb at the combatants, pulling them back into the burning oil. In his first misstep of the day, Astarion fires an arrow which goes wide, missing his target. Gale gets better line of sight and then nails the barbarian with a witch bolt. Shadowheart pops a potion of healing because she doesn't have a potion of stop sucking, and then fires off a sacred flame that, of course, hits nothing. The enemy archer fires off a long-range shot at Astarion, but the shot fails to hit the mark. Dashing through the alchemical fire, the barbarian comes to a halt only to dip his weapon in the fiery substance. That can't be good. Massive damage from a firebolt puts Gale face first into the stone floor of the refectory. Gneiss maneuvers around the now unconscious Gale, but struggles to deal any considerable damage to the raging barbarian. Asterian's dagger finds purchase in the barbarian, inflicting a small wound, but he fails to push the barbarian into the flames as desired. Surprisingly, Shadowheart's concussive strike dazes the raging barbarian, who is now on the verge of unconsciousness. The archer slings another arrow at Asterian, this time with the accuracy required to hit the target. As the barbarian meets a fiery end, the mage hurls a firebolt at Shadowheart. Understandable, really. Gneiss hurriedly scrapes Gale off the stone floor, saving him from certain doom. Asterian closes the refectory door, buying Gale some precious time to down a potion of healing. The archer bursts through the door, allowing the mage to fire off another firebolt at Gale, who suffers light damage as a result. Gneiss leaps across the flames and wallops the archer with his quarterstaff, sending her to her maker. Asterian follows suit, exsanguinating the mage with his dagger, and the party once again emerges victorious. But can it be a true victory if Shadowheart is still alive? The party proceeds to loot the bodies of the fallen and whatever else isn't nailed down in the refectory. A short while after, Shadowheart leads the party into what appears to be an ancient library, where the looting continues. Although nothing of serious note was initially found, there was a really depressing story about a woman who devoted herself to the Lady of Loss, only to be forgotten and left behind in what essentially equates to purgatory. Depressing. And so the party ransacked the library, searching for something, anything, until they stumbled upon some sort of device. Reaching a dead end, Gneiss and the gang double back to the hallway adjacent to the refectory, where they find a door opened by a large lever. Inside, they find a remnant of the scavenger party and decide to take care of him. Holding his position, Gneiss lets the enemy come to him.
We got company.
Shadowheart's mace swings down and delivers steely justice to the bandit's face. Gale enters the room on the tails of a firebolt. It singes the enemy, leaving the brigand looking weakened. Asterian glides into position, and his arrow denies the brigand any further time on this mortal plane. So the party does what they do best. Loot every valuable in the place and leave nary a scrap behind. The party returns to the connecting hallway where they spy a door they have not yet tried. It opens without incident. Could this be what the device unlocked? Shadowheart and the good characters enter a dank crypt overgrown with ferns. It seems ancient. It might even be years old. After a short bit of investigation and looting, the party leaves the first chamber, making their way through a large set of heavy oak doors. As the doors creak open, a large sarcophagus is revealed in the center of the room, but the party quickly discovers that all is not well here. A number of traps are uncovered, and if Shadowheart were in charge of the party, surely something catastrophic like this would have happened. Thankfully, Shadowheart is not in charge, and for that, we rejoice this day. Under Gneiss' leadership, the party disarmed many of the traps in the chamber of the sarcophagus. There was just so much winning happening. Until, of course, Shadowheart got involved. Shadowheart lost her footing on a grease trap, which apparently set off a whole bunch of other stuff too, igniting the whole room, nearly killing the party, and sent her to the realm of the burning and unconscious. Not a good place to be. Group MVP Asterian races to Shadowheart's aid, lifting her burnt carcass up off the ground whilst explosions detonate all around him and the party, who, out of idiocy, follow him for some form of misguided moral support. Returning to the small portion of the room that is not reenacting 1991 action thriller Backdraft, the party heals up and good guy Asterian shoots the trap's release switch, ending the gigantic mega-colossal fiery death trap. With the flames now extinguished, the party is free to investigate the sarcophagus. Inside, they find a magical spear and an engraved key. Gneiss and his fellow adventurers head deeper into the dank crypt, finding the remains of armed scribes,
but no sign of a struggle.
And a statue of Jurgle, the scribe of the dead.
I didn't think anyone still worshipped him.
In a small side chamber, Gale happens upon a mysterious book, and then attempts to unlock it using his arcane skills. And now let's see what's inside this bad boy. Man, this ancient book certainly puts the old in centerfold.
This page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Gale takes a closer look.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last three names in this book sit close together, but are
As a
so
result,
devastated by
both
the
Gale
scroll as to be
and Shadowheart
unreadable.
are inspired.
Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
Shadowheart says a prayer of healing, curing some of the party's wounds right before they happen upon a curious switch. After pressing the switch, a hidden door slides open with a loud rumble, bringing the undead skeletons in the chamber back to life. Shadowheart retreats into the hidden chamber, seeking only to get away from the undead onslaught before her. Tombed scribe closes the distance between it and the party. Gale then moves into position, launching the newly learned magic missile at one of the boneheads. Another scribe dashes forward, seeking only to extinguish the life of those that have disturbed this chamber. From an elevated position, a ray of frost narrowly misses Gneiss. Two more scribes dash forward to accost the party. But Gneiss isn't having any of it and scores a critical hit on the entombed warrior, instantly sending him back to the Netherrealm. Gneiss then bum rushes another entombed scribe, waiting for his next opportunity to strike. But Gneiss won't get that opportunity because Astarion gives the skeletal scribe peace before Gneiss can act.
On my way.
Shadowheart moves into position, fires up a guiding bolt, and sends it, doing 0 damage to a brazier instead. Great job, Shadowheart. A ray of frost slams Gale, carving off a big chunk of his HP, but he quickly retaliates with magic missile, destroying a skeleton in the process. Shadowheart is then silenced by the enemy, which is great for everyone. Gneiss puts yet another one down.
Outmaneuver them.
Astarion once again lays the enemy to rest.
Even after death.
The unthinking cadavers.
The group then proceeds into the hidden chamber, where they find yet another sarcophagus.
Realize the guardian of tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
Dude, it's gotta be Doritos in there. There's no other reason to protect this thing so heavily. I guess keeping this creepy bastard inside is probably a pretty good reason too.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always.
Someone that's always right?
What a
Is that you, Lord
curious
Gaben?
way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
So he has spoken? What he are you talking about?
An arbiter of certain matters. But that is not important now. Wilt thou answer my question?
Yes, ask away.
So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
Mortal lives are not single. They're part of a greater whole, a path to enlightenment.
Few strive for such balance. Fewer still achieve it.
But I will.
Very well. I am satisfied.
Ew!
We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place.
Just not early AM at the Motel 6, okay, bub? Having spoken with creepy weirdo Withers, Gneiss and the party emerge from the dank crypt, thankful to have survived. Next time on Cardinals Inn. Since when do skeletons have RGB? Players give him 200 gold a pop for resurrections. Why can't Withers afford some friggin' shoes? And just who was the centerfold in Gale's naughty book? Thank you so much for watching. Become a Filthy Zinner today. Make that subscribe button, repent, and then do your best Quasimodo impression and ring the notification bell. An extra special thanks to Akeranai and WeatherWolf4, without whom this video would not be possible. Until next time, may Lord Gaben's blessings be upon you all, and I will see you later.